Hello and welcome to this brief tutorial about the Anaimo AI SDK. For those of you who don't know Anaimo, we are an AI company producing a software development kit, or SDK, to ease the development of powerful AI applications. Why should you use the Anaimo AI SDK instead of other SDKs available? Because Anaimo is easier to install and use. Other SDKs and frameworks rely on specific hardware and software that you always depend on and must pre-install and maintain, whilst Anaimo is technology agnostic. Anaimo is lighter and lean, and yet very powerful, suitable for solutions ranging from huge to micro-embedded edge AI. And last, but not least, because Anaimo is fully flexible in how you set up and use the neural network, you create the neurons and connect them as you wish. For more info you can visit anaimo.com. In this webpage you will find how to download the free version of the Anaimo AI SDK. The Academy section with the Neural Networks User's Guide and all the documentation. Plus a frequently asked questions, forum and support sections. To see what we can do with Anaimo AI SDK, let's play with the example that comes with it, NNViewer. Once you execute it, it will pop up with the neural network that it just created and a help page of the keys to control its operation. You can see the help page again at any time with the M key. NNViewer shows, on the left, the inputs of the neural network, and on the right, the outputs, both in form of a matrix. You can change this layout at any time with the I key. You can also resize and rescale the application at any time. I have maximized it now. Initially, in this video, we will play with very simple projects, but in the end, we will solve a more difficult handwritten character recognition challenge. In NNViewer, you can draw, by clicking and moving the mouse, on the inputs and on the outputs. You can create more pages with the N key. You can navigate through the pages with the arrows, start and end keys, and with the G key you can go to a specific page. As you will see in a while, once you have created as many pages of inputs and outputs as you want, you can make the neural network learn to reproduce the outputs based on the inputs. You can also save your pages to a project in a NNViewer file, with the S key. For this video, I am going to load a previously created project that comes with the Anaimo AI SDK. With the O key, it opens a file dialog. I am going to open the symbols.nnv file. Every time you open a new NNV file, a pop-up requests how many levels of neurons you want for the neural network. In this case, I am going to say 6 levels. Now it tells me the layers that it has created with the numbering of the neurons per layer, which can be useful for development purposes. Navigating with the arrow keys through the pages, we can see that this project has loaded 5 simple symbols on the left. These are the inputs, corresponding to a line of outputs marked on the right. These are the outputs. This is, in total, 5 pages. With the T key, we can put the neural network to think and see what it knows about these patterns. We can see that the neural network, at this moment, knows nothing about these symbols, as it is activating outputs randomly. Let's make the neural network learn. With the A key, we enter learning. It requests how many epochs I want to make. This is, how many times I want the neural network to learn all the pages of my project. I will say 300. Then, it will request at what percentage of success should the learning process stop. I am going to leave the default of 95%. This means that, when the neural network will know 95% of my pages, it will automatically stop learning. Then, let's go. It stops very quickly, indicating, here on top, that it has learned 100% of my pages. If we now press the T key, we can switch from enter the thinking mode and see that the neural network is now activating, here on the right, the outputs correctly and according to the inputs, right exactly as we taught it. Therefore, at this moment, the outputs that we are seeing here on the right, are not the ones we initially entered, but the ones that the neural network has learned. Furthermore, we can now go with the END key to the last page and press the N key to create a new page. You can see that the neural network thinks that it must activate these last outputs when a blank page is entered as inputs, probably because it's like the last symbol, which is just for black dots. But what happens if we start to draw one of the symbols in this project? We will see that it immediately recognizes the symbol although we didn't finish it yet and marks it on the outputs. Remember that these lines on top and left correspond to part of the square symbol, and the neural network has detected that. If we do not finish the square symbol and draw a diagonal instead, at a certain point, it will say that this is the diagonal, instead of the square. It is interesting to see how the neural network evolves its thinking and at what point of the drawing it changes from predicting one symbol to another. Now that we have tried with this very simple 5 symbols example, we can move to a 100 pages project. Let's now open the ranges.nnv file. We press the O key and select ranges.nnv, and again 6 levels are fine for learning this project. Let's press the T key to assure that we are not in the thinking mode and that we see the real outputs of the project. If you move with the arrow keys, you will see that in this example there are 100 pages marked with inputs at a certain height and the corresponding output is marked on the right at the same height. By the way, we have introduced a 5% of errors. There are 5 pages not following the mentioned rule. As you can see on screen, we will see why later. For the neural network to learn these patterns, same thing than before, the A key to enter learning, 50 epochs this time, and stop at 95% of success. It quickly says that it has achieved 97% of success, and now we can switch to thinking mode with the T key to see what the neural network has learned, and we confirm that it has learned most of the pages. We can now use the V key to verify all the pages. It requests the value to consider an output as active. We leave the default value 0.5 that it was used for learning, and it tells us that some pages are incorrect. This is, that the neural network proposes outputs which do not match those that the project has in the pages. In this case pages number 30 and 91. But why does this happen? Why did the neural network not learn exactly what we taught it? Let's use the G key to go to those pages to discover why. This is the page number 30, which is apparently incorrect to what we have taught to the neural network. With the T key we can switch from what we taught to the neural network to what it thinks it should be. And surprise! We taught the neural network something that is not coherent with the rest of pages and, therefore, the neural network thinks coherently with most of the pages. This is an example of how the Anaimo AI SDK can be used for the detection of anomalies, or in other words, to use the Anaimo AI neural network to find patterns. Now that we have seen very simple examples, we can move on to more complex projects, for example, a handwritten character recognition challenge. Once again, we press the O key to open the handwritten.nnv file, and as this challenge is more complex it will require a more powerful neural network, therefore, we type 9 levels this time. This file loads 5,000 handwritten numbers as the inputs, and the output corresponding to the number marked on the right. There are 500 pages for each number. Remember that you can navigate through them with the G key, so if I go to the page 501, I will start to see the 2 numbers, or if I go to page 1001, I will start to see the 3 numbers. If you switch to thinking mode with the T key, you will see that the neural network, at this moment, does not know which number is this. Therefore, we need to train the neural network. To save time in this video, we have previously trained a neural network and saved its knowledge. We can load this knowledge with the same O key, selecting the NNK extension and this handwritten_99.nnk. To test if our neural network now knows these handwritten numbers with the knowledge that we just loaded, we have some test images of handwritten numbers which have not been used in the training process. We can load those new images to NNViewer and see which numbers the neural network thinks they are for each image. To massively load images to NNViewer, you can use the J key and then select the folder where the images are. This will process all the images from the folder, load them into memory and request if you want to activate any common output for all the images. As we want the neural network to tell us which number is each page, we will not activate any output by answering the 0 number to this question. Now, we can check that, at the end, we have new pages with handwritten numbers, never seen before by our neural network, and if we switch to see what the neural network thinks with the T key, we verify that it recognizes the new handwritten numbers by activating the correct output. We trained this model up to 99% of success, and therefore there might be some complicated handwritten characters that the neural network does not recognize. Therefore, mission accomplished. Our neural network recognizes handwritten characters. Same exercise can be done for the cats and dogs image classification challenge. For that, we have another file, named catsanddogs.nnv, which is a project consisting of 64 by 64 pixels 2500 images of cats and dogs. We will use 9 levels of network complexity again. It will take a while to create in memory this more complex neural network. Remember that you can download a free version of the AI SDK from anaimo.com, which comes with the complete source code of the example application NNViewer we just saw in this video. It will be easy for you to understand, improve or expand it to achieve exciting new challenges, as it is written in one of the easiest programming languages available, VB.NET. With Anaimo AI SDK, you can program in C, C++, C#, VB.NET and many more, both in Windows and Linux, and you will be free of other dependencies. Now that the neural network has been created, we can switch to color mode with the B key. NNViewer is a full color application. If we press the B key, it will change from the black and white to the color mode and vice versa. When in black and white mode, the outputs will only show black where the value is higher than the activation value. The activation value can be changed with the V key. We are going to leave the solution of cats and dogs for you, or for another video if you request us so. Then, please, visit anaimo.com and send us a message if you like this video, or if you need more info, or training, or any other comment. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for your attention. We hope to see you very soon.